Well, I'm sitting here on the stage of Falstaff just before the final performance of the 2010 tour of Falstaff in my first year as music director of Mid Wales Opera. It's been a wonderful experience, and the thing I take away most from the experience is a chance to bring high quality opera to people that don't have opera coming to their location. Right across England and Wales, we've gone to places that just don't get opera at any other time. And we're passing the baton tonight, really, from the fat old man who's delighted audiences on our tour, Falstaff, to the tragic figure of Madame Butterfly. We go from Windsor in London to Nagasaki in Japan, and we are preparing strongly for this tour for 2011. And the strengths of Mid Wales Opera are played very strongly in Falstaff, will translate beautifully into Butterfly. Because although Butterfly is one of the great tragic stories in all opera, although it's one of the most romantic and beautiful and soaring of all scores ever written, containing music that melts the heart, it is still at heart a conversation piece. It's a piece where the strength of Mid Wales Opera, playing in small venues with cut-down orchestra, it gives us a chance really to see into the heart and the soul and the mind of the characters really close to, where nobody has to force, where you can see at close proximity what is making them work. And it will work beautifully for this great opera, Madame Butterfly. And what an irony that it was pretty much a failure at its first performance, and the Butterfly we perform is about the 5th version that Puccini made of it. And yet it is now the most performed opera in North America, and it must be on the top 3 or 4 of every opera house in the world. Around the time of the writing of Butterfly, early 20th century and late 19th, there was a huge interest in many Western European composers in the Oriental. Debussy did the same, and Puccini himself has done it, and he moulds into the music a wonderful music that could only be written for Butterfly. It's music that if you translated it into La Bohème or Tosca wouldn't work. It's got a sound world of its own by the use of various types of Eastern scales and so forth. And so the flavour of what is actually a very European piece, but also a piece with an Oriental flavour, is done so beautifully by these use of harmonies. And this then mirrors the dilemma really at the heart of Madame Butterfly, is that this rogue Pinkerton, who really has no intention ever of staying with Butterfly but gives her a child, is through and through an American. And she starts as this young 15-year-old geisha girl who falls completely in love with Pinkerton and becomes an American and takes on all the American mores. And what we need to work out psychologically in the production and the way we do it in the theatre is why she sticks so rigidly when being told by everybody that this is wrong, that Pinkerton will let her down. And she is stubborn to the point that leads, of course, to her death. And the beauty of the music belies a deeply sad and difficult dilemma that the opera has to try and solve. Madame Butterfly is ideally suited to Mid Wales' scale of touring. One of the most beautiful operas in the world in intimate setting is a must, and is surely going to be something that will sell hugely well and give your audiences the most wonderful time at the very highest of standards, which is at the centre of what Mid Wales is about, keeping the standards at the highest we can make them, and taking it as far afield as we need to go. So if you've had our company before, you had us this year, or haven't had us, I hope you'll feel that we can bring you an evening that your audience will remember for a very long time to come.